Hey everyone, how's it going? So I want to make another review video of this Lectric bike XP in gloss white. As I ridden this bike a few more times, I learned a lot from it, and I wanted to provide a couple clarification to the last review video. And again, this is a class 2 bike at shipment. By default, the speed is set as class 2, up to 20 miles per hour. It means that you can have auto assist, so you can accelerate using just throttle, or you can do pedal assist. So if you set pedal assist, you just have to pedal and the motor will kick in. And to set up pedal assist, you turn on the display, turn the bike on, and pedal assist you can adjust between 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 gets you up to the top speed and provide you with full assist. You can modify this to a class 3 bike if legal in your area or on private road. You go into the menu setting by pushing the up and down button. So you go setting 8, and this is in kilometers. So you set that to 45, and now you're a class 3 bike. And the class 3 bike gives you the same functionality. You can have pedal assist or throttle assist, but with pedal assist you can actually go up to 28 miles per hour. So correction to the last video is 28 miles per hour. And we actually test that out. It's true. You just have to pedal a little bit harder, and you should be able to get 28 miles per hour. $500-watt motor, peak at 850, and you definitely feel that peak. It's a strong motor. From riding this bike, I learned that there's a couple modifications you might want to do. I did a 45 miles round trip on a single charge. Yes, on a single charge. So total I have 57 right now, but on a single charge battery I was able to do 45 miles round trip on even road, eventually going down the slope and going up the slope to the beach. And I was on pedal assist between 1 and 3, 2 being the average, and I was able to make it out and back with a full charge. And by the time I got back, it had maybe 1 bar left, and that 1 bar probably could get me another few miles. I did want to talk about the saddle. The saddle on this bike does look comfortable, but after riding it for about an hour, 20 to 30 miles, it did hurt a little bit. So I highly recommend, if you have long commute, getting a new saddle, whether it's a saddle with gel or some memory foam, or just some softer one with spring, should fix the problem if you have long commute. Or you can get a spring bar here for your seat post, and that should help reduce the impact. Although the fat wheels does help with absorbing most of the impact, the seats is pretty firm. As far as the brakes, these are mechanical, Tektro mechanical brake, and it works really well. I don't have any issues stopping from 28 miles per hour to a standstill fairly quickly, and I haven't had problems with maneuvering around obstacles, braking suddenly. Acceleration in this bike is extremely punchy at pedal assist 3. 1 and 2 is the most comfort, but overall it's a strong motor and the brakes can easily handle it. I did want to mention this derailleur. I fold the bike a couple times and lay it on this derailleur protector, and it seems to be able to protect the derailleur no problem. The only problem I had was some of the fenders was slightly bent out of place when you do fold it and store it in, let's say, your tight trunk. So you do have to make some adjustment when you take it back out. As for the rear fender, it's just fine. The front one, I did have some vibration. So after the first ride, this fender started vibrating, as you can hear. I tried tightening some screws, but it seems like it's coming from down here, so I need to play around with this a little bit more. I did add some drawer bumpers on both sides where the fork and the fender meets. It seems to reduce the noise slightly, but I'm still getting some vibration there. Something to note that you probably want to adjust the fender when you get it shipped or when you store it in the trunk and take it back out. Bring some screwdrivers and Allen wrench just in case you need to modify it. Another thing is this chain rail protector to protect the chain from coming off. I over pedal a couple times where it put too much stress on here and the chain actually came off of the teeth. So this plastic thing is definitely a must, and I'm glad that they included it with the bike. Something to make adjustment is if you have chain problem with the gear, and I have it with gear 7. When I try to over pedal, it came off a couple times. So after a few adjustments with this, where you can adjust the gear to make sure the chain is moving to the right gear that you select. So you want to make some adjustment there. As you ride it, you understand the bike a little bit more. Otherwise, it's a solid bike. The frame is really sturdy. It does catch a lot of attention when you're riding this. It does look like an expensive bike, but I mean, $899 is expensive, but compared to other $1,500 to $2,000 bikes, it's something worth noting that you still will catch attention with this bike. So definitely bring a lock if you plan to park it somewhere. Take out the key. It does come with a key to turn it off and on, and it goes underneath here, and you can actually take the battery out or leave the battery in there. It's a little awkward to put it in, but once you get the use of it, you just know the slot and which angle to push it in. So this is off and this is on. And the Cadence Sensor here is waterproof. I didn't mention this in the last review, but is pretty solid. It senses when you're pedaling, and when you're not pedaling, it turns off the motor. There's a slight, maybe 10th of a second delay, but you can adjust that sensitivity in the menu setting. So when you go in the display, just follow the manual, and there's a setting in there where you can adjust the sensitivity of it kicking in or not. You can also turn off the throttle, manual throttle, to only when you pedal for it to activate and be useful. Otherwise, yeah, overall the bike is pretty solid. As you probably noticed, I did get some accessory. First off, with additional taillight, although the integrated taillight works just fine. But riding at night, I just want some extra visibility. I have them for the front as well, and I'll post a link where you can find those. I got this bell. I really like this bell a lot. It's a manual bell. This is a mock-up of that $50 branded bell. I got a phone mount, and this is a motorcycle phone mount. I attach it in the center here because it aligns with the screen perfectly. There's not a lot of space on the handlebar, especially being at this angle, and it just interferes with the screen too much. The screen is adjustable. You can move it forward, backwards, and the brightness 1, 2, 3. And then you have your gear shifted here up to I always find myself between 6 and 7 because I do like to pedal a lot. Otherwise, another improvement I think could be is wrapping this handlebar. I do have soft gloves with cushion, so it doesn't affect me too much. So either get gloves. If you don't have gloves and you go in bare, you probably want additional wrap here just to soften for your hand, especially on long road ride. It is aerodynamics in terms of how it's designed, the shape, but it's very hard. It's not soft to the touch. Something to keep in mind. Short ride shouldn't be a problem. They have this bottle holder. This is collapsible bottle holder, and you can adjust it with this tightening string according to the size of your bottle, sport bottle, or even a soft drink. So I chose collapsible because when I fold the bike and throw it in the trunk, it doesn't get in the way. I have this front saddlebag. This is for tire repair kit, energy bars, and then also another phone waterproof case here in case if I have two phones. I would put one here and then another one here if I have another one to carry. Besides that, I have no complaint with this bike. I haven't tried the fanny pack or the saddlebag in the back here that they gave me, and I posted a link where you can get that for free. Yeah, overall it's a solid bike, and I wanted to provide this follow-up review video on this bike and just provide a couple clarification as well as my experience riding this over 45 miles on a single charge. So hopefully you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, post it down in the comments and I'll try to answer as much of them as I can. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and catch you all next time.